Hey guys, what's up? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is about your heart feeling very full. It's about joy, feeling happy about things. It can also be about like gratitudes and whatnot. You can be getting in touch with what you want. I'm also seeing Hermit, Five of Wands, and Three of Pentacles too. So what we have going on over here, Nine of Cups is starting in a place where there's a sense of gratitude. There can be like a Thanksgiving of some sort. Hermit is about what you're reflecting on. Five of Wands can be like something that's getting in the way or conflicting with that. And then we have Three of Pentacles, which is about like being open to working together and working something out. And I'm seeing the Hierophant, so there may be somebody that's helping you work through something. You can be helping yourself work through something. You can be connecting with guides, connecting with ancestors, anything that you'd find to be like spiritually uplifting in some way. So it wouldn't only tackle like physically what's in front of you, but also sort of like metaphysically stuff happening. We have Taurus and Virgo here. Maybe you're shedding a light on like what you want and what may be like contrary to that or like opposing that even. Some of you, there could be having Five of Wands and Three of Pentacles feels like there's conflict, but there's hope for like conflict resolution, and it's going to take a higher approach in order to actually do that. And this can be too like, I want this thing and this other person wants this other thing, and now we're trying to see like how we can work on that together, like how that can be rectified even. The Hierophant can be a guide to like a therapist or something that you could be working with. Doesn't have to be, just like a force that you feel like is a guiding force. Okay. What you want. Maybe even you're getting more clear on what you want too at this point. Where you can be in moments where you're feeling joy, and then you're finding yourself in other moments where you're like, this is getting in the way of that, or like this is conflicting with that, but needing to work together. I think that this is also about like working with your beliefs too, and what beliefs may actually be conflicting with what you actually want, and your belief in like that being a possible thing for you too. Because I have Page of Wands here, and this is like, this is what I want to be doing, or this is what I would be happy doing, or I would like to pursue this, or like that path is the one that I want to go down. But you could feel like some things are going on that you're feeling like, but I have to do this thing instead. So you may be getting to a point where you're questioning like, why do I think like that? Like, why is that the belief system that I'm adhering to currently? So I'm, at this point, you're looking for answers. Yeah, there's definitely other stuff. I'm seeing, on one hand, there are things going on that you feel like really excited about, inspired by, brings you a sense of peace, and feels like I'm living my dream life in this moment, like when I connect with like this thing, or when I'm in this place, or when I'm with this person, like those sorts of things. And I feel creative, and I feel happy, and I feel light, and I feel joyful. And then I'm seeing this other stuff that almost feels like the opposite of that. This feels like in a metaphorical sense, sort of the difference between, distance maybe, the difference between there being like a child that has childlike happiness and joy, where there's just this sense of like running around and being free and just being light in that way, where there's a sense of like admiration for what's around you. And then this card of it being like heavy and I'm tired and like life is really heavy, you know? And these two things that are happening. So there can be this one part of you that's like, when I think of this thing or when I do this thing, because maybe it's something that hasn't fully manifested yet for you, but you're like, I can envision it though. And when I think of that, I feel really happy and this would be like a dream of mine to pursue. And then I have this other part of me that's like, that's not gonna work, or I'm like really pessimistic, or I'm doing these things that I feel like I'm obligated to be doing, but I don't feel that sense of joy. I feel like it's very opposite to like my dreams and my visions of what I actually want to be experiencing. So there's like a conflict that I'm seeing is currently being worked out, because the half Nine of Cups connected with this Four of Cups, and I'm seeing it be like the height of your joy and then like maybe the bane of your existence that you're experiencing here. And so in this polarity, I'm seeing you be able to recognize like what actually is part of a sense of fulfillment on a deeper level within your heart space versus what's something that feels like it drains that for you. Where like, I even wish that I could like shut this off right now because that's how much I'm not enjoying this experience, and like seeing the difference between these two. I'm seeing there also be like fear involved that you may be facing as well, or just like stuff that you dread could be part of what's coming up for you too. Again, in this sense of conflict of like, when I envision this, I feel light and happy, and I feel like my heart is exposed in a way where I'm really connecting with what's going on, versus this stuff that I feel like I have to do, or I'm forced into, or I'm obligated to do, that makes me want to check out. Like, you see how this person seems like it feels just like coming down from something, like not feeling good. It can be feeling really sunken in. Emotionally, especially emotionally, energetically. But then Five of Wands being here is like, this is conflict, and that's a good thing, because things are coming up into an equation that can actually be worked out, rather than being like, okay, it just has to be like this. It's like, this is starting to create a big enough conflict that it seems like you're actually going to do something about it. Because you know, when something is more subtle or it's less severe, it's like, I can sort of deal with this. But when something gets like bad enough, when something gets severe enough, when it gets unpleasant enough, when it gets uncomfortable enough, then we're motivated to like, oh, I gotta do something about this, you know, like I almost don't have a choice. I need to work this out. And that's sort of what's coming to a head here. And it has to do with what you actually want to be doing. Like, where is my inspiration? Like, where's my passion? Like, where's my love for stuff? What I'm seeing is that, so that on the like downside of this, where there's this feeling of like, this is heavy, this is draining, I don't like the way that this feels, but I feel obligated, and I feel like I'm sort of forcing myself to do this thing. But it makes me, again, want to like check out, because that's how unpleasant of an experience it is. There's a recognition that you have a choice here, and you don't have to keep doing this. But I'm seeing that there's a lot of fear that this is bringing up for you. Let's just use, I feel like, the most obvious example for this. Let's talk about a job. Let's talk about a relationship. Like, you're in a situation where you're like, I think about like doing this, walking down this creative path, and then I'm sucked back into, now I need to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and go and do this, this, and this, because like I need money, and in my head, this is the only way that I can do it. And I feel like it's completely like depleting me of my sense of like joy and inspiration. And I want to check out. So by the time I am getting home, I have no time to even do this thing or participate in this thing that I love. I'm just recovering from how draining my day was, and it's on repeat. It's like that type of thing. Just an example. But having 8 of Cups here is recognizing that, like, I don't have to feel this way. This is a choice actually that I'm making. I have a choice where I can actually recognize that this isn't for me anymore. Like, this is something that has dried up. Like, the well of inspiration that came from this, or like what I needed from this at some point in time, that's gone. And that's why I'm feeling like this, because I'm not getting anything from it any longer. Like, there's not that sense of fulfillment any longer. But you see how this person is sort of like faced this way, so it's kind of like, I'm stuck here, like I don't have a choice. But if they just turn around, they'd see, oh, that just means that my assignment here is done, and I'm supposed to keep going. But having this Nine of Swords on the bottom of the deck, it's like that thought is terrifying to me. So that's why the Hierophant is here and the Hermit is here, where it's like, what about my belief system is keeping me in this situation thinking that this is my only option and that I don't have other options, when actually you do. But it's about working with and discovering your belief systems that are keeping you stuck within this situation, especially the ones that are motivated by like fear and limitation. But until one takes the time to actually reflect and recognize these things, it's something that's just going to be sort of like moving and functioning and playing in the background without us being aware of that. And that's why this period of reflection is so necessary. And you would also know too that like something pales in comparison as well. Even if it's like a dream or a vision and not something that you're physically experiencing yet. It's sort of like a call from the future to you, saying like it doesn't have to be this way. So something over here, it feels like has caught your eye or caught your heart or caught your spirit in some way. And I think when you tune into that, you're recognizing it really like, what I'm doing right now pales in comparison to what could be possible for me. So I think you're even allowing yourself to start believing, or maybe opening yourself up, or opening your mind, or opening your heart, or opening your spirit to like the situation that you're in not being your only option. Like, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to be stuck within this. You can actually do something that you genuinely feel connected to, something that you like. So you go from like, this is something that feels like I want to tune out, I want to check out. That's how much I don't want to be present to experiencing this, because I don't like the way that this feels. And when we say don't like, it's like, I don't prefer to experience this. So why force yourself to experience something you don't prefer to experience when you know that it's something where, again, like the assignment is up. That's why it's feeling like that. That feeling is a message of you're not supposed to be there anymore. Intuitively, that's what you're being told. So when you get in that moment of, wait, I'm the one that's keeping myself in this situation, I don't have to stay being like this, like I have more options than that, but I have to make a transition in order to do that. And that's where a lot of this fear may be coming up from. But when you recognize that and you're like, oh, I have to go to the next thing, like I'm supposed to go to my next assignment now, because you really feel like you've overstayed at this point. That's where this feeling is meant to get worse and worse and worse, enough where you're like, this is unbearable, and do something about it. Start somewhere. And then when you do that, where do you move to? The Ace of Cups. Look at this. It's like so bountiful, it's so fruitful, it's overflowing. And that's really the opposite of this, of like everything feels very empty. Look at this too. And this person walking away from that. And it's not just about walking away, it's like walking to the next assignment, especially on an internal level. So this isn't even an external thing. This is like what's giving you the the fuel internally. And this is something that's overflowing with that. So that's what you would be walking towards, like that next thing that's like open that you would be connecting with. And I'm seeing Two of Cups. So this is you like rectifying something internally And this is also you, I'm hearing adhering again. It's about you working with your belief systems and connecting with belief systems that are more like relevant for the times where you are right now. Because whatever it was that you were doing before and you being in this situation, you needed to be in this because there was stuff that you were meant to experience. Now you're feeling this way of like, I'm checking out because I don't prefer to experience this, so I'd prefer to be like anywhere else besides this. It's telling you that it's time to keep moving. So even though for a period of time you were meant to be here, this isn't the thing anymore that you're meant to be doing. And it's telling you that you have an option, you have multiple options where you can actually be participating in things that you love. And like, look how happy this person is. This card is representative of like our visions and our dreams and the things that we feel most inspired and most excited to be participating in and experiencing. These are the types of things where like you don't want to go to bed and you can't wait to wake up in the morning and like go do those things. It's that type of stuff, which feels very opposite to what has been being experienced. And there can also be this part of you that like even hearing what's being said right now, you may be like that seems unrealistic. Like, is that even possible? Isn't like this suffering necessary? Like everybody hates like getting up in the morning. You know, it's like those things like that these are the types of things that you're meant to, instead of identifying with these thoughts, having them pop up and be like, where is this coming from? Like, what belief system is this tied to? And knowing that it's something that you can rearrange. Knowing too, like in recognition that things are being transmitted and you're receiving them, and that you get to choose which of those you're sort of following the tune of. Okay. Eight of Pentacles, I'm seeing you working on something here. It looks like something, like there's a final piece that's about to be put into place. It's like that last piece that's about to be put into place. I'm seeing Knight of Cups, which has to do with mobilizing your emotions. So this can even be the final piece moving into place, and then I'm going to be able to express something that is coming from a place that's very, very genuine, which is mostly about me recognizing like these emotions that I've been experiencing, what have they been whispering in my ear? So something is about to be put into place, which is going to like complete. It's like this stuff that you've been receiving, and it's still a bit of a mosaic, and it's about to click into place, but it's something on the inside, like it's something that your heart hears. And then having Knight of Pentacles, it's going to inform you of a way to move practically. So this isn't just like I'm getting this feeling and I have no idea how to apply it. This is I'm tuning in now. I'm receiving a message that's actually making sense to me now. And also, I'm figuring out a way to actually apply that so I can do something in a practical way with it. So it actually is translating. So it goes from a feeling to an action that can be taken. So that's what's happening here. And then I'm seeing the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So this is something that you're doing that's going to create a sense of like well-being and happiness. Like this is about your pursuit of happiness. And all of the steps too that you take to get there, to that sense, to that point of realization. But this is something that it doesn't just like fall on your head in a moment. This is something where it takes actual like deliberate reflection of like, what are these two parts? What's their relationship, conflict? And then how do I get them to cooperate in a way where it's working together, and then doing this deep dive that has to do with your belief systems. What you actually want to be doing, what you are doing, and then how to make that transition from one to the other. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.